So light and oily.
Moist.
Moist. Hey guys, here's Orren.
And he's Dan, and welcome to
Another video where two gay guys talk about stuff.
So, this week we're actually going to talk about stuff. Believe it or not, we do have stuff to talk about. And this week, I thought, in honour of Coming Out Day, which is October 11th.
We're a little late. A little
early. I thought we'd talk about our coming out stories.
Okay, my coming out story, I was 16. Well, actually, I never actually came out. My best friend actually outed me.
Oh, as if. So I'm gonna look like I'm copying you the entire way through now.
Just like you always do. I had my childhood best friends. Their names are Lucy and oh gosh. I had two Lucy and So I had two childhood best friends called Lucy and Hayley, and we were all inseparable. And my brother was the typical, in the best of terms, naughty boy with women. He was a charmer and he was very, very much a player. And my friend Lucy was always known as a stunning girl, and he had his eyes for her. So anyway, he prayed and prayed and prayed, as much as I hated and detested it, and protested that it should never happen, it'll hurt you, it'll upset you. And 7 years on, I was right. And they got together, and my brother was always like, Lucy had told me at this point that he was asking if I was gay, and Lucy would always be like a good friend and be like, no. And then at this point with my close friends, I came out as bisexual, you know that stage?
By now, gay later.
Yeah, but I like that. I still fancied girls and I had to pretend that I fancied some celebrities. And I remember coming home one day after school. My brother was on the sofa, my mum was on the sofa, and I usually just used to run upstairs because I was never social. I was a hermit in my room. All I heard was, Dan! Dan! I'll have to record my mum doing it because that's exactly enough. There was no D. There was no D. It was like a firework going off, honestly. Ask anyone. It was. And I was like, oh God, what does she want? So I've gone down there like I've some sort of cult in my living room, and they both went, we know. It's like, what do you know? What do you know? And of course I was bisexual and still going through my stage, and they went, we know you're gay. I was like, and you know when you can't deny it, but at the same time you don't know what else to do. And I was just like, I started crying, and I just gave my mum the biggest hug, and she was like, I've always known you were gay ever since you were 4 and 5 and you wanted Barbie dolls and you wanted me to sit and make clothes. My mum used to sit and make clothes out of materials for my Barbie dolls. And but I used to still man it up. I had Action Man as well for them to be the boyfriend. Action Man was my Ken. And I sometimes dress her up in their uniforms as well. This is no longer about like my coming out story. This is just pointing out how long I've been a gay boy for. And so yeah, that's how they found out. And obviously I did my little bit of research. I was like, who told you? Found out it was her. It was Lucy. I'm meant to be my best friend. She's the one that outed me, and even though everyone knew, but I never actually had that chance to go, Mum, Dad, who I never see, I'm gay. That's my coming out story. I've just been gay ever since, and I've never hid it. I've never been ashamed. I've never, like, through college, uni, whoever people I meet, no matter if I think they're gonna have a problem with it, I've never thought to myself, oh, I shouldn't really tell them I'm gay or hide it.
Good. Okay, so I have to give you some backstory first leading up to it. So obviously, as a lot of people will know, some of you probably won't. I was brought up as a Jehovah's Witness, so a lot of people will know them as the people that go knocking from door to doors, the people that don't allow blood transfusions, and also the people that don't agree with being gay. Now, obviously being brought up from extremely young age within the religion, I was always taught to believe that it was wrong. I was also taught to believe that you don't date unless it's with a view to marriage, so I didn't have any girlfriends. So it was weird, because you know how when you're young, you know you have those feelings from a very young age.
You just never understand them.
You never understand. You don't understand them until you go through puberty, and then you do like sex ed and stuff, and you understand stuff. But obviously at school they don't teach gay sex and stuff, so you don't really understand. So you end up going like online looking for stuff. So me and when I was 15, about 10, 16, me and my at the time best friend James decided we would mess about on the internet. So we went online and found a website called ladslads.com. Now Ladslads was a blog site for gay men to blog about stuff, but it was also a way of...
Did you two know each other was gay?
No, he wasn't.
Just doing
he
it?
Didn't know I was either. We were just doing it as a joke. See, so it was planned as a joke, but I was doing it as research. So we went on to Ladslads, signed up, said we were 18, put pictures of me up because it was my email address that we'd used, and you can also see people that are nearby, and we messaged a few people nearby to see what they would say. So it's like
an old MSN Grindr?
It was almost like the original version of Grindr, but mixed with Facebook and Bebo and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Now, we sent people messages, we got a few people messages back and sent pictures, and we thought we were all being funny about it, and nothing ever happened. Fast forward to me being 16, it was April the 22nd.
Oh my god, as if you know that day.
I went to the cinema to see Step Up with my mum and my sisters and our Jehovah's Witness friends, family, whatever.
Like a Jehovah's Witness crew going to watch Step Up in the cinema.
Yeah. Step Up 2. And on the way back, I got a message from my other best friend called Megan. Now, Megan and me were like this. Everyone thought me and Megan were going to end up together. Our parents thought we were going to end up together. In fact, her mum said that I was the only man she'd ever let her marry. And I loved her entire family, loved her to pieces. And I did think I was going to end up marrying her. She texted me saying, I need to talk to you. My mum decided to go around to one of her friend's house, another Jehovah's Witness. So I said, Mum, I'm going to stay in the car, so I need to ring Megan.
I know this is a total side story. Jehovah's Witnesses only really friends with Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah. So I wasn't allowed to associate with anybody that wasn't a JW either. Including family at times. Now, so I'm sat in the car and I call Megan and she goes, I know. And I was like, you know what? She goes, I know your secret. And I was like, okay, what secret are you on about? She goes, almost being a little bit like deceptive about it. Like, I know, but you're going to tell me anyway. And I'm like, Megan, I really don't know what you're on about. She was like, Orren, I know that you're gay. And I burst out laughing. I'm like, okay, yeah, okay, I'm gay. And she was like, don't joke with me, I know you are. I've seen the emails. And I'm like, what emails? She goes, off of that website, Lads, and I've got them printed out. And this was a Tuesday. She goes, if you don't tell your mum and the congregation by Friday, I will. And then she hung up the phone. So I then text her, like really angry, I can't believe you do this to me, we're supposed to be best friends, blah blah blah. And so I went and knocked on the door of my mum's friend's house, even though I knew she was inside, so I could have just walked in. My mum came to the door and she was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I need to tell you something. And she was like, okay. I told her there on her friend's doorstep, I was like, I think I'm gay. And she went, okay, and what do you want to do about that? I said, I don't know. I think I need to find out if it's true. My mum had always said to me, my mum knew, but she didn't want to know, if that makes sense. So she was like, she kept asking me like randomly throughout my childhood, are you gay? Are you gay? Are you gay? I can tell by the way you walk, blah, 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 just tell me the truth. But she did say at one point, now I need you to tell me the truth now, are you gay? Because you know full well you can't be in my house. You'd end up living with your dad if you are gay. And so I just need to know now. And I was like, no. So obviously fast forward back to me coming out, she was like, okay, well, I need to finish up my conversation here, so sit in the car and wait for me. And when you get home, call your dad, because you know what that means. And then she shut the door in my face. So I was like, oh, okay. So went home, packed my bag, she called my dad, put me on the phone. I was like, Dad, you need to come pick me up, I'm living with you. So I sat and waited, and I listened to Pink's album, I'm Not Dead, and just sat and listened to it over and over and over. And I sat in my room, my door's closed, and I don't know what my mum was doing the entire time, but then my dad came and picked me up. And And I told him in the car, and he was like, I've known since you were 7. He was like, it's very obvious with the way you played with your Barbies and stuff, just like you did. And I used to make clothes myself for it, because my mum was a seamstress, so she taught me how to. But she disowned me a few months after I came out and basically kicked all of my stuff out of the house and dumped it on my dad's front door. Literally on my dad's front door. We came home and my computer, my desk, all my paperwork, everything was just on my dad's front step. And so I got to my dad's and he was like, do you want to talk? And I was like, I'd rather not. So I went and just sat in my room at my dad's, and it was weird. You have those, you're supposed to have those moments when you're like an adult, and you have those moments where you're contemplating your whole life. And all I kept thinking was, my life that I've come to know for the last 16 years is gone. Which is a really weird thought, because all the friends that I knew were all Jehovah's Witnesses. I had people that I knew at school, that I were friends with at school, but I didn't hang out with them outside of school because I wasn't allowed to. Are you alright? What's the matter? What's the matter? You okay now?
I'm okay. It's just hard. It's just really hard to hear, because I never had one issue with my family, and like I don't know what I'd do if I did.
The moment I came out to my mum, I realised that I couldn't see any of them again because they were Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, at the time I thought, nah, they'll still be my friends. They'll still want to talk to me. We're that close. But obviously I didn't want to talk to Megan anymore because she'd caused all of this in my head. Because I got disfellowshipped, so I was kicked out of the religion, and no one in the religion was allowed to talk to me anymore. And so the only people that I knew were the people I went to college with at this point. Now bear in mind, I came out in April. Literally a month and 2 days later was my 17th birthday. So by this point I'd kind of got to terms with having to start a new life. My dad decided to throw me a birthday party at my auntie's house. And all of my family came, and they were all really supportive. On my dad's side of the family, they were all really ridiculously supportive. They always have been. Now, that was when I was 16. I will be 26 this year. So it's been nearly 10 years, meaning that I've spent a decade of my life without having my mother in my life. It's got to the point now where I just have to look at it as it's her loss. However, for the lack of motherhood and parenting that I've had from her, I've gained in friendships with people. So I have people like you who actually care enough to be emotional about this.
Oh, you didn't prepare me for any of this.
One of my mum's oldest friends, Geraldine, has been nothing but supportive. My mother-in-law has been more than supportive. At times she's so much a mother it actually gets annoying, because she's so overbearing at times, but in such a good way. Yeah. Because she's actually being a mother, and I don't think I would have got through the last 10 years if it hadn't been for people like Geraldine and Sue. A lot of my family are still supportive, but the people that have helped me grow into the person I am now are the people that are around me 24/7, like you. It doesn't matter how you come out or what the reactions are going to be like. You can have a family that have no problems with it, and you can have a family that isn't so supportive and causes problems for years to come. And trust me, it can happen. There's been lots of ups and downs with it, but I just want people to know, whoever you are watching this, if you're struggling with it, it does get better. I promise you. That for every person that you lose in your life that's not good enough to be in your life because they can't understand, there will be someone who understands you 10 times more. If you're struggling at all, I will link the number below for you to call. They can message either one of us. Just know it does get better, and you will end up with friends like this.
Yeah.
That do care and that make it all worthwhile.
I really do. I love you so much.
Next week we're going to do another game rather than depress you. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram. Obviously my Instagram is @OrrenHopkins.
And my Instagram is @_super_Dan.
And our joint Instagram is @Ordan. Don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you next week for another video
where two gay guys talk about stuff.